सबैलाई मेरो नमस्कार. I think I can speak in Nepali and English at the same time. This session plays a very crucial role in trying to create what he called this Nepal National Building Code on Firefighting. You know what happened? Alikati thore samay linchu just to set the tone of how we should respond to this session. We have many different dignitaries. I'll be talking about them shortly, but then before that, अलिकति नेपालीमै 2072 सालमा भैँचालो गयो हैन. And you know what? त्यसपछि we all started running into the chaos of how we can build better. Then we start to forget about what is even more important, and that can happen every day. That's the fire. And मलाई, good God, I was even there in Kantipur, Radio Kantipur, and I was to talk about good construction practices. One of the important things which could not talk more was on the fire safety. Recently, there was a fire, but that fire had a political alikati element. But besides that, Kathmanduko, there was an explosion. You keep reading into this explosion also. When there's a fire with the gas, and as it explodes, then you will not be able to stop it. But if there's a fire with the electric short circuit, we can respond. This the objective of this session. Let me get into that. I think I should read this. The fire I witnessed was in my house. There was a fire in the house, but we managed to quench it. And the worst fire I've ever seen was in Singhadarbar. I think some of us might have seen it from a distance. And it was a very nice opportunity. I got into doing that building where we had our Prime Minister Oli inaugurated back in 2019. And there we installed, 400,000 liter water tank on the ground. यत्रो ठुलो सिंहदरबारमा फायर फाइटिङको इन्स्टलेसन नभए देशमा के गर्ने? It's a very sad thing. And I was able to convince the Prime Minister and the authorities there that we should have one. And we created the state-of-art firefighting facility that conforms to, I think I should take Sunil these some of the highlights of yesterday, NFPA standard. And what we could not do was we didn't have any standards of our own, so we borrowed everything from other places to match what he can do. If you don't start, you cannot reach anywhere. That is the motto, and we have already started it, and people they are taking this example to for many different areas. I'll introduce the panelist. This session will review and assess the current fire safety provisions in Nepal National Building Codes, because we only have 3 pages. We have only 3 pages of code for firefighting in Nepal. A big disaster is about to happen. Learn from the code development experiences and best practices. We have 2 dignitaries at least for that. And explore collaborative roles for professional, academia, private sector, and firefighting agencies and code development. And now we have drones also to control the fire. That's still in infancy, but that has to be taken into a different level. Understand the support needed for government organization. And for that, we would be, I'm sure we'll be getting that collaborative response from this organizer of this event. That is, I think, APSA. APSA, and what is that? FSES 2025. Let me get into the panelist. Okay. Yes. There are more than 9 panelists, so I think have already concised their introduction, starting from Sandeep Goyalji, and I had an opportunity to listen to him and going through his experiences of doing so many tall buildings in different parts of the world. And Sanjeev ji, by the way, runs Prion, expert and educator, who is behind in development of NBC Fire Code. No. I think we need to introduce you because then we'd be able to get more insights from you. And then visiting lecturer at SPA. And there is one other gentleman, Sanjay. I'll get into Sanjay. Sanjay Badul Thapa, a celebrity architect of the country with many different projects in different parts of the, not only Nepal, Bidesma Pani. And he's a Harvard graduate. And Sanjay, you can also join the team. Give him a clap. Sunil ji la कसैले नि ताली बजाएन. By the way, he also needs one. Yeah, Madam Shruti Goyal. Yes. And she is also a part of Prion, and she helped build in National Building Code and Fire Safety, starting from 2005 to 2025. So there are many, she also wears a lot of hats on the cap, the feathers in the hat. And she is also ASHRAE woman working to build its back MEP design specs. And our Manoj Nakarmi Kaunans, I have seen him. He's let me get Manoj Nakarmi here. Manoj Nakarmi is a senior government official, and he's a part of code development from the Nepal Sarkar Bada. Manoj, please take your seat. And while I'm in this, there is Mr. Nabaraj, engineer Nabaraj Pakurelai pani मैले स्टेजमा आउन निम्ता गर्ने है. And Nabaraj Pakurelji is a senior urban planner, civil engineer. He has a lot of experience and he's a part of KVDA team. अनि अब पछि उहाँको बारेमा धेरै कुराहरू यो डिस्कसनको क्रममा थाहा होला. Nabaraj, welcome onto the stage. And engineer Jeevan Regmi. I think he is a part of Kathmandu Mahanagarpalika. So they are also trying to do so many things to mitigate fire in the city. Let me focus only onto firefighting prevention measures. And there's Madam Tripti Giri. She runs QFX Cinema. And QFX Cinema is one of the big things which but many of us would always love to see a movie in a theater, and then the theater are being replaced by QFX, state of art. The way you see movies has changed. You know what, I'm a part of doing some acoustics with Dolby in Nepal. You know why you get a different feeling in theater? Because of the sound you get from different places. And the QFX has Dolby Digital. So I think we should be very proud of everyone. And there is Madam Sangita Jikaunanza. Sangi Madam Aunola, stage ma. She is also academician, urban planner with 27 years of experience. She teaches in Pulchok Engineering College. Yes, and Amro, this was the मैले थोरै introduction मात्रै गरेँ धेरै लामो गर्दाखेरि त्यसैले समय खाइदिन्छ भनेर I just wanted to make it very brief. अनि Mr. Maheshwar Swain, you're there. He is retired Chief Fire Officer, Odisha Fire Safety Consultant Advocate, and recipient of multiple President medals for gallantry service. I can imagine he must be must have been able to do so many wonders in India and Odisha. So I think we ought to be very thankful to know how they would respond to the queries मैले राख्ने छु अब मैले अघि नै भनिसकेँ अलिअलि नेपाली never mind I will speak in Nepali also just set the tone for the stage so that no one sleeps यहाँ मलाई त बेला बेलामा निन्द्रा लागेर हैरान हुन्छ के अनि आज त पुरै बुझ्दिनँ के म अनि the problem for us you should all understand this you know what more good construction practice since I was working for to add value to people no म चेयरमा बस्दिनँ I'd better be here so that I can see everyone including this no यसमा नबस्ने यार गाह्रो हुन्छ चाहियो भने बसौँला anyway you know I already told you that we have a very big volume of fire structural safety को धेरै चीजहरू छ and since I did so many tall buildings in the city मलाई त I have a bit of experience of you know watching my building you know really twisting and turning but हाम्रो मनोदय पनि हुन्छ है by the way we should मनोदय actually उठ्दैन he is the one who did most of the tall building in the city it's not only fire you know when there is an earthquake the weight of the building you know puts you down so but you आगो लगाएर त सबै चिज माथि उठ्दाखेरि तै पनि हिजो गोयलजी I think it was very nice to know how Manoj please take your seat है how would respond when there's fire in a tall building अनि म architect भए तानि I didn't have an idea I was thinking that people should go to the terrace then he said no you should get them to the ground that was very important यो हामीले कन्फरेन्सहरुमा लिने नि takeaway small takeaway when there's a fire people hey all को बिल्डिङमा त माथि गएर you're safe now and then maybe some drones will pick you up but drone त नेपालमा छैन त्यसै कारणले you better run to the ground and that you know that evacuation time you should know about it अनि let me explain this I'm just trying to set the tone by the way never mind I'm taking a little longer कति मिनेटमा नेपालमा अस्तिको भैँचालोमा मान्छे तल आयो भन्ने कुराको कल्पना तपाईहरुले सायद गर्नु भएको छ कि छैन अनि मैले त्यो दिल्ली बजारको tall building that Silver City I designed you know what in 1 minute everyone was down from 18th floor the kind of face you need to have when there's an emergency people could be evacuated in 1 minute and in fire you need to compartmentalize he says he's very right and त्यसै कारणले अब I think I should start setting up the tone and मलाई I'm so very good to have everything was fixed मलाई सारा our organizers have already set the questions also to me मलाई सजिलो पार्दैछ तै पनि त्यसमा एक दुईटा चीजहरु म थप दिन्छु and by the way it's our duty not only अहिले कुरा गर्यो अहिले नै बिर्सिन्छ के the moment you're out of this conference hall you forget but how many कति जना रिपोर्टरहरु छ you have any people with the camera and the के रे recorder नेपालमा एउटा जुलुस भयो भने everyone is running around when there is this conference like this there's no one it's very sad त्यो चाहिँ I think our people should have it on the YouTube अहिले त टिकटक पनि भाइरल हुने जमाना हो यसले दुई चारवटा टिकटक पनि हाल्दिनु होला we need a code and it's our duty we create a code that will safeguard and elevate our comfort level so let me and we only have 3 pages code so I'm very sad to tell you that ठुलठुलो काम गरे भने के दङ्ग पार्नु तर 3 पेजको कोड लिएर हिँडिराख्नु परेछ so let's get it from पहिला अब यो क्वेशन कसरी should I ask one question and then or I ask you 3 questions and then no that would be very clumsy man so I think it's I'll ask one to each yes so yeah that's very important where's the mic oh there's the question so where's the mic you know I think you'll have to transfer the mic right Sunil ji, like, I think I can call you Sunil ji, you know? It's Sandeep, I'm sorry. I've been telling you Sunil all the time, but you're Sandeep. Good morning.
Looking at him talking to me, it's fine.
Okay. Sandeep ji, you were a big part of NBC development in India. So my first question to you, I think you'll have to share your insight to start and create one first document. Maybe that can be 5 pages. We have 3 pages. If you can add 2 more pages in that code, that would be more than enough. Give us some idea on that, on the firefighting code for Nepal, the first few. How you will
Sir, I think
respond on that?
the blueprint of the project to define my passionate subject is compartmentation. I said yesterday that we have to bring out, and unfortunately, you have a clean slate right now. So you are not with your legacy of mistakes, which you have to correct. You already have a clean slate. You can start educating the people. You can start bringing knowledge to the youngsters, to the architects, and not worry about what was published before, and to justify what was published was right or wrong. So it's a good news. You have a clean slate. The more we get an opportunity, I don't go back to the history. So that's one good thing to be happy about. Otherwise, we are very depressed that we don't have a code. But the good news is that I can do the way I want. Means the community, the fraternity can draft the code in the fashion, in the format, which will be very modern. So having said that, I think the overall objective could be very well defined by certain fundamentals to be brought to the code. We have got fire prevention, life safety, fire protection. 3 basic paraphernalias. Yeah, sir, please. Sir. So we have got 3 basic criterias, which are fire prevention, life safety, fire protection. So as long as we are able to identify these requirements under these 3 things, makes it more meaningful. Last, I'll not take more time. It becomes too complicated and theoretical when I start saying all these words. So the best would be that we should start making some basic write-up and requirements which are not having the dependability on the local fire brigade to head the building. I think the moment our objective goes that the local fire brigade will come for my rescue and firefighting, I think we are shifting our responsibility somewhere else. This is a time when we make buildings, they should be resilient in its own, not depending upon local fire authority. Drills, audits are very important. Education is very important. Simultaneously, we'll have to work on a couple of things. Educating the youngsters, the architects, and also the building occupiers. You and I play a very important role because we occupy the building. And if we are occupying the building and we are careless about our own safety, Mr. Architect can do anything, Mr. Fire Officer can do anything, but if you are not careful about your own safety and you are very casual about it, then I think God can only help us. So more or less, I think we can just draft certain fundamental blueprint requirements in the code. From the beginning, the new Nepal should have all the buildings which are resilient in itself, not depending the fire brigade to come and help you. Why should they come? Why should we not have the buildings which are themselves empowered? Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Yes, not good.
You can use this for a while.
I think this is now, because you have to eat it very hard. I know it. Anyway, Sanjay, it was very nice to set a tone for the event. Now, Sanjay, with your experience of working in big projects, you see, there's a small building, there's a fire, we'd be able to quench it in a short time, but then, and Sandeep ji yesterday mentioned about, fire rating of columns in tall buildings. And how do you respond to a situation if there's a fire, uh, irrespective of evacuation path? How do you work with your engineers to get structural and evacuation integrity into a building?
Well, that's a pretty specific question you're asking.
Yes.
But let me get to the broader aspect of, the firefighting and fire safety. I think I guess we all agree that, there's no compromise when we come to fire safety and life safety in any building. However, we also realize with the 3 pages of documents we have for fire safety, it's highly inadequate. So as you mentioned, before any accident happens and we get into action, it is high time, we all, have the codes in place. Now, coming to your question about buildings, firstly, any building with the latest revision in our building bylaws, even residential building, we have a FAR, that is a floor area ratio of 3, and all the buildings are more than 3, the building types.
Yes.
So, and with 50 and 40% ground coverage, we're talking about building over 6 floors automatically.
Yes.
So that's, again, in a range of mid-range and high-rise, high-rise to high-rise buildings, where we need to have the fire systems in place. Plus, most of our plots are smaller in size, and the parking usually goes in the basement. And there, in fact, is very limited, fire safety systems for the basement at the moment. And I guess that's one of the most, that's a place where fire can easily start with the smoke and fuel and so on. And plus, let's say the setback, the building setback is as per the, adjacency of your neighbors or, the road, but it's not as per the fire requirement. So that's again another issue. So we have many problems.
Okay.
And then when we come to large scale buildings, especially, doing hotels and let's say branded hotels, where we follow the international codes or where fire and life safety is of utmost importance, our regulations are not, have limitations. So we follow the Indian or American standards. I mean, it would be better if we have our own fire, standards which suits the context.
Okay. So I think you've answered my questions, and I'll get back to you later. But now this Shruti, madam. So you see, in your yesterday's event, and you're talking about electrical installation safety issues in your presentation last time. And that is what triggers a fire in many of the multi-story building. So could you highlight on some of the aspects of that?
I've heard that question a lot of time, that electricity triggers fire. Electricity, whether it triggers fire or it doesn't, nobody has ever assessed it. Okay. Electricity is the softest, I should say, target which can be blamed for triggering of fire. It may not trigger fire, but it may help fire expand to all the places. Because as Sandeep was also mentioning, compartmentation. If you manage compartmentation, then the electricity will be there in a single compartment. So it will not let the fire go into another compartment because of electricity. So it is all a composite working of all architects, structure, MEP, fire schemes, passive schemes for controlling of fire. Okay. Fire can occur anywhere. Fire can occur even if I smoke a cigarette and put it without extinguish it on the carpet. That can also be the trigger of fire. So we have to first understand how triggering of fire can happen. Let's not understand even triggering of fire. Let's understand if there is a fire, how to control it in that particular space only. So that's how a lot of things get into place, that we are talking about compartmentation, we are talking about architecture, we are talking about passive extinguishing, evacuation. There are a lot of things which we need to understand. We have to live the building as a human and to understand how it is to be designed. You have to make your systems, your codes, explain to the architects, to the young architects, engineers, to how to design a building in a way that it can help in not expanding the fire into various places.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
अब नकर्मीजीलाई चाहिँ मैले नेपालीमै सोधौँ अनि टु कन्टिन्यू विथ वाट श्रुति म्याडम सेड यो नेपालको सरकारी बिल्डिङहरूमा पनि अहिलेसम्म यो स्टिल युजिङ ब्ल्याक पाइप टु ट्रान्सफर इलेक्ट्रिकल लाइन्स के हुन्छ भने कतिपय कुरा देखा सिकेबाट पिपल फलो अब म सिंहदरबारभित्र पनि धेरै ठाउँमा काम गर्दाखेरि अहिलेसम्म वी स्टिल ह्याभ द्याट प्र्याक्टिस अफ युजिङ ब्ल्याक पाइप के वेन यु अलरेडी ह्याभ एफआरएस पाइप्स टु द्याट एज अ बेटर फायर रेटिङ अब सानो चिजबाटै हामी सुरुवात गऱ्यौँ भने राइटिङ अ 5 पेज कोड 10 पेज कोड 20 पेज कोड इज वान थिङ अलिकति यु नो वाट ट्रिगर्स फायर भन्दाखेरि त्यो ग्यास छ नि ग्यास सिलिन्डर घर घरमा ग्यासको चुलोहरू त्यो झ्यालबाट बाहिर किचनबाट बाहिर मात्रै राख्यो भने आधा फायर स्टप हुने रहेछ सर अब यो कोडको आवश्यकता किन पर्यो भनेर यु नो द पिपल हु रन द कन्ट्री नट ब्युरोक्राट्स बट द पोलिटिसियन्स हियर इन द कन्ट्री उहाँहरूलाई अलिकति ज्ञान कसरी दिने त वी वान्ट टु राइट अ बेटर कोड द कोड वी हेभ इज अ बेटर कोड केही पनि छैन त्यसमा त्यसको लागि एजुकेट गर्नलाई कसरी नकर्मी सरले सुरु गर्नुहुन्छ लोक सर भनिदिनु त
धन्यवाद म विशेष गरी चाहिँ यो भवन संहिता शाखा हेर्छु यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो भवन ऐन 2055ले यसलाई गभर्न गर्छ यो बिल्डिङ कोड चाहिँ देशभरि लागू हुनको लागि अब यसमा भवन संहिताले खालि स्ट्रक्चरल सेफ्टी मात्रै होइन अरू विभिन्न विधाहरू समेटेको छ 23वटा भोल्युममा छ 23वटा भोल्युममध्ये चाहिँ अहिले हामीले विषय प्रसङ्ग मिलेको चाहिँ यो फायर सेफ्टी सम्बन्धी 107 NBC 107 भनेर प्रोभिजनल रिकमेन्डेसन फर फायर सेफ्टी छ तपाईँले जुन भन्नुभयो 3-4 पन्ना छ त्यो चाहिँ हामीले त्यतिखेर 2003 मा बनाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ एकदम मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेन्ट के हुन्छ र यसले चाहिँ अरू एक्सटेन्सिभ कोडहरू फलो गर्नलाई डिजाइनरलाई बाटो खोलिदिएको अवस्था हो अरू कोड फलो गरेर गर्न सकिन्छ तर हाम्रो मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेन्ट त्यतिखेरको अवस्था त्यो थियो तर अब अहिले तपाईँले भन्नुभयो यसलाई अपडेट गर्नुपर्छ हो हामी क्रमागत रूपमा चाहिँ यो 23वटै भोल्युम अपडेट र नयाँ कोड बनाउनुतिर पनि गइरहेछौँ र यो सिक्वेन्समा चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि यो सबै एकैचोटि गर्न सकिँदैन यसको लागि हाम्रो सरकारी संयन्त्र के छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ सब कोडहरूलाई चाहिँ सकेसम्म त्यहाँ डिमान्ड के छ र अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो बाहिर एक्सटर्नल इन्टरनेसनल स्ट्यान्डर्ड प्र्याक्टिसहरू के छ र हाम्रो मार्केटले सस्टेन गर्न सक्छ कि सक्दैन इम्प्लिमेन्टेबल भइसकेको अवस्था छ कि छैन यो पार्टलाई चाहिँ हामीले हेरेर चाहिँ सरकारले चाहिँ विभिन्न समितिहरू बनाइदिएको छ वर्किङ कमिटी भनेर चाहिँ कोड बनाउनलाई स्पेसिफिक जुन कोड बनाउने त्यो कोड अन्तर्गत चाहिँ इन्टरनल कमिटी प्लस अनि त्यसपछि सम्बन्धित विषयको विज्ञ आवश्यकता हुन्छ त्यसले चाहिँ वर्किङको प्रोसिडियर सबै बनाएर कोडको कोर काम गर्छ त्यसपछि त्यसलाई एडभाइस गर्नको लागि एडभाइजरी कमिटी छ त्यसपछि चाहिँ विधिवत रूपमा चाहिँ भवन ऐन अन्तर्गत चाहिँ कोड स्वीकृत गर्ने विधि छ र त्यसले स्वीकृत गरेर माथि नेपाल सरकार मन्त्री परिषदमा पठाइसकेपछि त्यो देशभर लागू हुन्छ यो एउटा लिगल फ्रेमवर्क भइहाल्यो तर अब तपाईँले भन्नुभएको अवश्य पनि हो त्यो तपाईँले NBC 107लाई 107सँगै मात्र जोडेर हेर्नु भएन किनभने फायर सेफ्टीको कुराहरू चाहिँ 4-5वटा अरू कोडसँग पनि रिलेटेड छ NBC 206 आर्किटेक्चरल डिजाइन रिक्वायरमेन्ट्स त्यसले एक्जिट रिक्वायरमेन्ट के हुन्छ इभ्याकुएसनको लागि के चाहिन्छ फायर स्केपहरू त्यो बाटो त्यहाँ खोलिदिएको छ त्यसपछि त्यो कोडले अर्को कोड भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो इलेक्ट्रिकल डिजाइन रिक्वायरमेन्टको छुट्टै कोड खोलिदिएको छ त्यो पहिला के हो त्यो चाहिँ कसरी बुझ्नुपर्छ भन्दा त्यही कोड मात्र होइन त्यसले अरू कोडलाई जोडिएको छ जस्तै अब यो कोडले चाहिँ इलेक्ट्रिकल डिजाइन रिक्वायरमेन्टको प्रोसिडियरहरू फलो गरिदिइसकेपछि सबभन्दा पहिला हाम्रो डिजाइनमा डिफेक्ट हुँदैन कन्स्ट्रक्सनमा डिफेक्ट हुँदैन र त्यो इलेक्ट्रिकल डिजाइनले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ फायर चाहिँ ट्रिगर हुँदैन त्यो पार्टलाई विचार गर्नु पर्यो त्यो कोडले त्यसरी एड्रेस गर्छ त्यसपछि अर्को पार्ट भनेको चाहिँ जस्तै सेनिटरी रिक्वायरमेन्ट्समा पनि यदि इन केस अफ फायर चाहिँ हामीले के रेस्पोन्स गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो ड्राई राइजर वेट राइजर विभिन्न व्यवस्थाहरू छन् यसलाई कन्जङ्सनमा ओभरअलमा हेर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ र यसमा मैले यसैलाई मात्रै डिफेन्स गर्न खोजेँ होइन, किनभने हाम्रो अहिलेको डिमान्ड त्यतिखेर हाम्रो भवन निर्माणको क्षेत्र 55 सालतिरको र अहिले भवन निर्माण क्षेत्र धेरै आकाशजमिन फरक परिसकेको छ। हामीले सानो प्रोजेक्टदेखि लिएर ठुल्ठुलो मेजर प्रोजेक्टहरू पनि गरेका छौँ र त्यसबाट चाहिँ हामीले सिकेर चाहिँ ल त्यसको रिक्वायरमेन्टले चाहिँ हामीले जेनरल पब्लिक हामीले चाहिँ लिमिटेड र सरकारी कमर्सियल लिमिटेड नम्बरमा छन्, तर मासमा के छन् भन्दाखेरि प्राइभेट हाउसिङ छन्। हामीले इन्टरभेन्सन कहाँ गर्नु पर्यो भन्दा स्मल थिङ गरेर मासमा जान सक्नु पर्यो र गभर्मेन्टको इन्टेन्सन पनि के हो भन्दाखेरि मिनिमम इन्भेस्टमेन्टमा के चिज चाहिँ क्लजमा राख्दाखेरि चाहिँ मासमा गएपछि त्यसले इम्प्याक्ट दिन्छ रादर देन सल्भिङ लिमिटेड भलौँ हामीले चाहिँ त्यसमा पनि फरक, किनभने हामीलाई थाहा छ रिक्वायरमेन्ट के चाहिन्छ। हामीले यो 107 लाई रिभाइज गर्नलाई करिब 1.5 वर्ष 2 वर्षको एक्सर्साइज गरिसकेका छौँ। अब यसमा आइसकेको छ तपाईँले भन्नुभएको जुन फायरको प्रोटेक्सनको कुराहरू हो, सुरुमा चाहिँ हामीले प्रिभेन्सनै कसरी गर्ने भन्ने पार्ट हो, त्यसलाई फलो गर्नलाई हामीले इलेक्ट्रिकल डिजाइन रिक्वायरमेन्ट्सको पार्टलाई अलिकति स्ट्रङ बनाइदियो भने।
Okay, I think I'll come back to you again. Now, let me get to Nabaraj, sir. I think to continue with what Manoj has said, so into planning part of fire mitigation ma, अहिले तपाईपछि हाम्रो एकजना जीवनजी पनि सँगसँगै हुनुहुन्छ। I think जीवनजीले नि a part of this question goes to you also, by the way. You know what, with my, I keep doing little things. कहिले कता महानगरपालिका पनि पुगेर I was trying to tell them that how they can, have a better firefighting facility in the city. And त्यसको लागि हामीले एउटा के सोच्यो भने, if you see the aspect of fire in different parts of Kathmandu, starting with the core पनि दुईजना मान्छे हिँड्न नसक्ने नि गल्ली छ नि काठमाडौँ। You go to the core area, you hardly will be able to have अनि त्यत्रो ठुलो झोला लिएर नि हिँड्ने मान्छेहरू छैन, very small spaces there. And we thought of, creating zones for fire safety, starting from green, yellow, red. And then that was one of my session KMC. And we thought, since we not be able to take everything everywhere, like especially the firefighting trucks, but they have a limitation because they would not be able to carry a lot of payload. And as alikati chintanshil nagarikko hisabले मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने the first thing you can do is create that base map where we'll identify the areas which will be green, red, and yellow, and innovate and educate. Sorma त्यसको चाहिँ दुई चारवटा केही सुन्न पाउन highlights. If you have worked with KVD on that, or you want to start on that, please let everyone know, and that can be a part of the code at the end of the day. Sir, these are the power.
Thank you, sir. Dev sir, for your query. Basically, Kathmandu उपत्यकाभित्र चाहिँ के छ भने दुई किसिमको चाहिँ हामीले सेक्टर हेरेका छौँ। एउटा चाहिँ कोर एरिया, एउटा चाहिँ भर्खर इमर्जिङ नयाँ सिटिजहरू जसलाई चाहिँ हामी बफर एरिया पनि भन्न सक्छौँ। त्यो दुईटा केसमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कोर एरिया एकदमै मोर भल्नरेबल, त्यो कोर एरिया प्लस हाम्रो चाहिँ स्क्वाटर सेटलमेन्ट्स जहाँ चाहिँ हामी इलिगल टाइपको चाहिँ बस्ती बसिरहेको छ, त्यो दुईटा क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ फायर हेजर्डको हिसाबले एकदमै सेन्सिटिभ छ भनेर यो हेरिएको छ। काठमाडौँ उपत्यकाभित्रको लागि चाहिँ रिस्क सेन्सिटिभ ल्यान्ड युज प्लान पनि तयार गरियो र बेसिकली चाहिँ हाम्रो पुरानो सम्पदा क्षेत्र कोर एरियाजहरू जहाँ चाहिँ गल्लीहरू पनि सानो छन् र बस्तीहरू पनि पुराना छन्, तर हामीले चाहिँ मोडर्न एम्युनिटिजहरू दिने क्रममा चाहिँ कतिपय ठाउँमा अब जस्तो इलेक्ट्रिक सप्लाईहरू छ, तर त्यसको वायरिङ सिस्टमदेखि लिएर त्यहाँको सप्लाई सिस्टम नै त्यति गतिलो हुन सकेको छैन। अनि खानेपानीको सिस्टममा फायर हाइड्रेन्ट राख्ने कुरो पनि एकदम परम्परागत भयो। तपाईँको वीर शमशेरको पालादेखिको धारा सिस्टम पनि छ जहाँ चाहिँ फायर हाइड्रेन्ट देखिन्छ तर त्यहाँ पानी एक्सट्र्याक्ट गर्न सकिँदैन। यस्तो किसिमको सेक्टरहरू पनि छ। त्यसैले काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिका र काठमाडौँ उपत्यका विकास प्राधिकरणले विशेष गरेर यो दुईटा क्षेत्रलाई पहिला त इस्यु आइडेन्टिफाई गरेर सेक्टर छुट्याउनुपर्छ। त्यो रिस्क सेन्सिटिभ ल्यान्ड युज प्लानले केही इन्डिकेट चाहिँ गरेको छ पक्कै पनि। र यति गर्दै जाँदा कमसेकम हामीले इस्यु चाहिँ पहिला बुझ्यौँ भने त्यसको सोलुसनमा जान सक्छौँ। अहिले हामीले चाहिँ के छ भने एकदम प्याचवर्कमा काम गरिरहेका छौँ, जहाँ आग लागि भएको छ अथवा जहाँ चाहिँ सम्भावित क्षेत्र छ त्यहाँ अलिकति एटेन्सन त दिएका छौँ। तर पनि हाम्रो जुन किसिमको चाहिँ एक्टिभिटिजहरू हुन्छ, जुन किसिमको हाम्रा बस्तीहरू छन्, पुरानो हाम्रो सभ्यता छ, काठले बनेका घरहरू छन् र त्यस्तो ठाउँहरूमा चाहिँ यो रिस्क फायर हेजर्डको हिसाबले रिस्क बढी छ। अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ हामीले जस्तो नयाँ प्लानिङ गर्ने ठाउँमा चाहिँ चौडा सडकको कुराहरू गरिरहेछौँ, त्यसै गरी हामीले चाहिँ ओपन स्पेसका कुराहरू गरिरहेछौँ। त्यसै गरी एपार्टमेन्ट बिल्डिङहरूको चाहिँ तपाईँको प्लानिङ पर्मिटको बेलामा सर्टेन तपाईँ अन्डरग्राउन्ड ट्याङ्कहरू राख्नुपर्ने र फायर सिस्टमहरू अब कतिपय तला जस्तो मैले सुनेसम्म चाहिँ 5 तला 4-5 तलाभन्दा बढी चाहिँ फायर हाइड्रेन्टले काम गर्न सक्दैन। त्योभन्दा माथि चाहिँ तपाईँको अटोमेटिक सिस्टमहरू राखेर हरेक कोठामा चाहिँ त्यो के गरी त्यहाँ फायर भयो भने त्यो फायरलाई चाहिँ इन्डिकेट मतलब अलार्म दिन्छ। त्यसपछि त्यहाँ सेन्सरले नै काम गरेर त्यहाँ चाहिँ आगो निभाउने चाहिँ सिस्टम बनाउनु पर्छ। त्यो बनाएको छ, तर के छ हामी कहाँ समस्या भनेदेखि हामीले आगै नलाग्दा पनि नर्मल अवस्थामा पनि गएर त्यो फायर सिस्टम चलाउन खोज्यौँ भने त्यो एपार्टमेन्ट बिल्डिङहरूको फायर सिस्टम चलिरहेको हुँदैन कि एकदम नर्मल टाइममा है। अब आगै लाग्यो भने त त्यहाँ त एकदम हतारमा हुन्छ, अब सबै मान्छे त एकदमै त्यो एकदम हरिमा हुन्छ। त्यस्तो अवस्थामा झन् के काम गर्ला भन्ने एउटा समस्या छ। अर्को कुरा चाहिँ हामीले यो फायरको सिस्टमको अथवा कुनै पनि सेफ्टी मेजर्सको चाहिँ अडिटको हाम्रो एकदमै कमी छ क्या। वास्तवमा अब के छ भने हरेक हिसाबले लोकल अथोरिटिज हेभ द पावर होइन, उहाँहरूसँग संविधानले दिएको पावरै छ, उहाँहरू एक्ट बनाउन सक्नुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूसँग धेरै नै क्षेत्र पनि समावेश छ। र यो एउटा चाहिँ फायर सेफ्टी अडिटको कुरा हामीले केही मात्रामा अगाडि बढाउन सक्दाखेरि चाहिँ जस्तो एपार्टमेन्टहरूमा अथवा तपाईँको पुराना बस्तीहरूमा के छ त अवस्था अपडेट त गर्न सक्छौँ नि। त्यस कारणले हामी अलिक बढी सुरक्षित हुन सक्छौँ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई। अहिले मैले यति नै राखेर विशेष गरेर चाहिँ हामीले यो फायरमा वास्तवमा प्र्याक्टिसमै पनि त्यति धेरै ध्यान चाहिँ दिएको जस्तो लागेन। मैले एउटा जापानको उदाहरण हजुरहरूसँग राख्न चाहन्छु। जापानमा एउटा चाहिँ मोडर्न बिल्डिङ बन्यो कुनै एउटा चाहिँ पुरानो सम्पदा अथवा बस्तीको छेउमा भनेदेखि उनीहरूले के गर्छ भने त्यो मोडर्न बिल्डिङलाई जोगाउनलाई यदि त्यो तपाईँको पुरानो बस्तीमा आगो लागि भयो भने पनि आगोको लप्का आएर ठुलो बिल्डिङ जलाउला भनेर आगो लाग्ने बित्तिकै त्यो ठुलो बिल्डिङको छेउबाट ब्यारियर एउटा पर्खाल जस्तो अटोमेटिक चाहिँ खस्दो रहेछ। त्यसले चाहिँ आगो आयो भने नि त्यो आगोको लप्कालाई जान नदिने त्यस्तो किसिमको एकदम हाइली सफिस्टिकेटेड सिस्टम चाहिँ बनाइसक्नु भएको छ।
Okay, I think I'll get
yes.
back to you later.
Yes,
है
sir.
जीवनजीलाई अल्पकोस फेरि
मैले
आउँछ।
जीवन सरलाई
जीवनजीलाई म फेरि अलिकति कुरा थपेर सोध्छु।
यस सर।
जीवनजी अघि त्यो Navras has raised a very pertinent issue on audit. Kathmandu Nagarpalika Guru Balin keeps on posting so many things, but he made a राम्रो remark पनि गर्नु भएको छ for the drones which can be used for fire mitigation. अनि तपाईलाई चाहिँ no matter how hard you try to quench the fire, but then you need a source. You need a reservoir. Okay, that's very important. तपाईँको ट्रकै फायर ट्रकै नजाने ठाउँमा रिजर्भर कहाँबाट बनाउनुहुन्छ?
हाम्रो
अनि एक मिनट म सोध्छु होइन, अडिट इज वान, तर अहिले हाम्रो चाहिँ आइडिया चाहिँ के छ भने वी आर ट्राइङ टु अलिकति इक्विप्ड सो द्याट इफ देयर इज एन इभेन्चुअलिटी कसरी गर्ने भनेको हुनाले यहाँ आक्षेप भन्दा पनि यो कलेक्टिभ ओपिनियनबाट के गर्न सकिन्छ सो द्याट वी क्यान ट्रान्सफर इट टु द एजेन्सिज विच वुड बी एबल टु पुट थिङ्स इन्टु द राइट प्लेस। तपाईँलाई मैले when एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट क्वेसन के KMC ले to create reservoirs in the core area and connect it with the fire hydrant to fire hose connect गर्नलाई core area मा number of the reservoir you can have many number of reservoirs in the core area so that when there is a fire you can use that reservoir to eradicate the fire. त्यसमा काठमाडौँ नगरपालिकाले कसरी काम गर्ने सोचिरहेछ? अब म यो कन्टेक्स्ट भन्दा बाहिर गइरहेछ because then it would be very boring if I start reading from the context. So I want to really get into the gist. How you're going to create a reservoir? If there's a fire, then the source is right there. त्यसमा के सोच्नु भएको छ काठमाडौँ नगरपालिकाले त्यस विषयमा?
स्पेसल्ली अब फायरको हिसाबले हेर्दाखेरि काठमाडौँको कोर सिटीलाई चाहिँ अलि सेन्सिटिभ रिसर्चहरूले पनि त्यो देखाइराखेको छ। अब स्पेसली अब यसमा नयाँ नयाँ टेक्नोलोजीहरू त युज गर्दै जानु पर्यो अघि ड्रोन टेक्नोलोजीहरूको कुरा पनि आयो होइन अब स्पेसल्ली अहिले हामी चाहिँ बिल्डिङ पर्मिट सेक्सनमा चाहिँ अहिले नक्सा पासमा चाहिँ जुन 5 तलाभन्दा बढी तला भएका बिल्डिङहरूमा चाहिँ फायर स्केपको कुरा जुन चाहिँ एनबिसीले गभर्न गरेको छ त्यसमा लेखा छ त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ अहिले लागू हुँदै गएको छ नक्सा पास प्रक्रियामा त्यो कुराहरूलाई अनि स्पेसल 10,000 भन्दा बढी वर्ग फिट 10,000 वर्ग फिट टोटल एरियाको बिल्डिङहरूमा पनि त्यसमा इमर्जेन्सी रेस्पोन्स प्लान सहित डिजाइनरले पेश गरेपछि नक्सा पास हुन्छ यो सबै कुराहरू गर्दै जाँदाखेरि हामी फायर सेफ्टीमा डिफ्रेन्ट स्टेक होल्डरहरू छौँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ अब कोलाबोरेटिभ रूपमा काम गरेर अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ होइन यसरी अब त्यो नयाँ नयाँ टेक्नोलोजीहरू कुन सुइटेबल हुन्छ कोर सिटीमा अहिले चाहिँ हामीले त्यसमा चाहिँ एउटा इन्डिभिजुअल हाउस होल्ड लेभलमा र कम्युनिटी लेभलमा चाहिँ कसरी फायर सेफ्टी एचिभ गर्न सकिन्छ भनेर इन्डिभिजुअल लेभलमा फायर हाइड्रेन्टको एक्सटिङ्ग्विसरहरूको कुरा र कम्युनिटी लेभलमा फायर हाइड्रेन्ट र यो ड्राई राइजरको कुराहरू पनि अगाडि आइरहेछ अब नयाँ नयाँ टेक्नोलोजीहरू पनि युज गर्ने कुरा छ त्यो सबै अब विस्तार गर्दैछौँ सबै कोलाबोरेटिभमा गर्नु पर्यो त्यही हो
ल नाउ आई गेट टु Tripti madam. By the way, since you're running QFX in the city, could you also thought we don't have any incidents of fire in QFX, right?
No, we have had recently.
What is your experience on fire safety compliance and operations if in case there is a fire in QFX, let's say?
So QFX, I'm actually representing all 17 locations all over Nepal. So it's not just Kathmandu focus. So I think Mero context match it is nationwide. So fire safety ko case as a private institution, how we see this is we have our particular processes. We get certain products that help us with prevention, just the fire detectors, smoke detectors. So we have installed certain products. We have the resources that we know about. Additionally, our resource not just governed by National Building Code, FDB, but there is certain list of things that we have to do. So this code on code, I think that is relevant to us. So inside theaters, so there is an additional code. Internally, we take trainings and our team trains further to all the facilities. And this way we do audits where we check if all the things are proper or not. Process but we are not spared from fire disasters. So the last 2 weeks ago, we had an incident in Italy actually. So Italy, it took about 5 hours to get the fire down. Personnel, just APF, army, police, local government, help, even home ministry, support. So this we are very thankful. That our perspective, if the fire could have been reduced even in a shorter time, that would have been better when damage the dhere thulo bhayo. So our preventive measures but what we also do is I think Sandeep ji in the start he said it is on you to take responsibility. I'm very proud to sit here and say ki hamle chai kati measures garirako huन्छौं, but we are not fire safety experts. We are theater experts. Theater ko ke naya cha sodnu, we know what is going around in the world. So if there is any resource that is available, let's say kunai fire safety ko naya item ne aayo, kunai product ne aayo, we want to use your location for R&D, we would be open to that. So as a private sector, we are not getting that collaboration from the government agencies, I would say. So this our trainings are the bhayiranu parcha ni ta, hamle matra training or maybe we are outdated in what we are doing, but they feel huncha, we are doing what we can, and additional support would have been even better. I think that would be our perspective.
Okay, Tripti. Tripti, very nice of you to share your experience. And you know what, QFX single-handedly cannot mitigate the fire because you put your QFX in one of the buildings, so the way the building is done plays a very important role. Our Sangita madam, let me ask you a question because you're into this academic sector. What we miss in this country, we have many different stories and many different things which you don't need for the safety. हामी धेरै त हल्ला त पोलिटिक्सकै हुन्छ, ज्ञान गुणको कुरा थोरै नै हुन्छ होइन। अब सबभन्दा समस्या के रहेछ भने यो ज्ञान अन फायर, and if there's a fire, how do you respond to fire? And I keep seeing some videos on यो ग्यास को त्यो लाइटर बेच्ने मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ ड्रिल गर्दो रहेछन् कि। People do drills at places to tell people that if there is a fire in a gas cylinder, how you can quench the fire. Madam, it's in the best interest of the country, I think we should try to educate people, at least educate every student in the country to start, forget the code, we don't have code. Now, if you don't have a code, you have so many other codes, and it's a question of putting them in your mobile. यो धेरै ठुलो कुरै भएन, छैन भनेर रुनुभन्दा पनि के छ त्यसलाई खोज्ने हो। अब नभएको कुरा सिकाउनु पनि पर्छ at the same time. So how you trying to educate people, if not the students, then you can always educate the authorities. And त्यसमा के गरिराख्नु भएको छ, madam?
Thank you, sir, for your question, and thank you for having me here. I think what an academic institution can do basically is focused on 5 areas, I would say. One is in terms of capacity building, creating human resources, but these need to be sort of demand-centered rather than, conventional. You follow the conventional curricula and then, go on teaching the conventional technologies. Technologies are always changing. The global scenario, this is an age of AI now, and everything is changing. We just saw even now that, there are so many new technologies that are able to do so many things. So I think in the first place, what an academic institution can do is to do a lot of research, and not only do the research in terms of the new technologies that are evolving, but also in terms of materials that needs to be used and different aspects of, for example, there are digital twins, drones, as we already saw. So these come under the academic institution's responsibility, I think. Another area where an academic institution can intervene is in terms of policy advocacy. I think even when we are talking about building codes, there are certain things that still needs to be incorporated that are lacking and so on. So this policy dialogue between university academic institutions would serve the purpose of upgrading and making it better. So that part is there. Then another part which you also asked, I think, is the community outreach programs that we also do. Also in terms of piloting, for example, if we are using the drones and digital twins and so on, we could go on to the field and do a piloting and then demonstrate so that people can learn from that and then go on to apply it in the practical field. So that is what is also very important, I think. Another area is the technical support. For example, even in the code formulation, the experts from the academic institutions have been contributing. So I think these are some of the areas where we can focus on, I think.
Okay. So now I would ask Mr. Maheshwar Sen, and you must have had the experience of, going through the incidences of fire. So how the code's design has, affected the firefighting effectiveness in your, experience? Could you share something on that?
Thank you, sir. First, I would like to say you want a national Nepal building code, and you are sorry that it only contains 2 to 3 pages. But building code, as regards to National Building Code of India, we have a voluminous building code. But it is a recommendation, it is a guideline, it is not enacted a rule. We have every province, every state, they have their own regulations, own rules. Even every district is having their own regulations. Why this is made so? They have considering the geographical situation, scenario of a particular place. and its a requirement and it's a potential hazard, they have made their regulation. So Nepal should not, I say, it should not be a copy of a National Building Code of India or a National Building Code of China. Nepal must have its own building code based on the geographical situation of the country and the potential hazard associated with your country. So you should do like that. And every region must have its own regulations. Suppose you recommend that there must be a 30 feet wide road, means of access, abutting road for a structure. But you have a hilly area, you cannot provide 30 meters. So you have to provide as per your requirement. So also the vehicles, the fire gadgets, the fire tenders, whatever you are purchasing, that must be based on your own requirements. Not that seeing that these equipments has developed, equipments has come and we shall procure it. No, that is not the solution. The solution is your requirement of your people. And as regards the fire safety, one chapter of National Building Code of India, that is chapter 4, has been is dealing with the fire safety. Yes, it is there. There are 3 stages, as you said, fire prevention, fire protection, and fire extinction. Fire prevention directly refers to the structural safety, the passive measures we require for evacuation and for facilitating the people during emergency. They will come out of the building. What should be the width of the staircase, what should be the width of the corridor, and what will be the setback. Everything is coming under the passive measures, fire preventive measures. But that preventive measures can be ensured through some regulations, through some rules. So you have to must have enacted a rule in your country so that will be followed by all architects and builders while recommending, while finalizing the plan. But you know, you are an architect. I know you are an architect. But architects and builders always try to find the loop in the rule so that they can slip away in that way. But fire service is nothing to do on it. So we must be robust and stringent on that point. While making your rule, you give emphasis on that. As regards fire protection, yes, fire protection is active measures. We can have some inbuilt measures in the building which may be called as electronic firefighters. In the absence of a firefighter, it can work. And how much fire protection measures can be installed, taken in a building, that will be decided by a committee. Just say in India, our table 7 says in the part 4 of a National Building Code, that for such occupancy, this will be the fire safety measures. So it helps the firefighters to take a parallel and a equal decision while giving recommendation for any building. I am from Odisha, and in Odisha development rule, and Odisha fire prevention and fire safety rule, we have a discretion that a firefighter, the chief fire officer, the fire officers must have a discretion, must be given. He can also recommend additional fire safety measures where it is felt necessary. And also given power, he can exempt some fire safety measures where he feels that it is not necessary. So it must be citizen-centric rule and a recommendation while making your National Building Code of Nepal. Thank you, sir.
So, अब म एकछिन फेरि यही पोडियममा बसेर 2टा कुरा गरिहाल्छु है. You know what, I was trying to get the opinion of everyone here, just to understand how we can create a code which can be
implemented in a very short time.
Now, since we have अलिअलि सबैको कुरा सुनिसकेपछि, I would want to be very specific. मलाई त यहाँबाट जाऊ भन्न थालिसक्यो फेरि. That's very sad. Anyway, now I would want to be very specific to, so that we be in a position to give at least some pages of document to the government of Nepal. For that, I think since Nabraj sir is also here, Manoj is also here, and we have experts, Sandeep ji, I'm right this time, Sandeep ji. So what you can do is, and through Shruti madam, I came to know that it's not only the fire The fire can happen with many different other things. So firefighting code is not, even if it's 5 pages, then it will be other 20, 30 pages of other things, which is a cumulative firefighting code. So how do we start? You've already said some, and maybe do you have to have collective knowledge implemented? What do you call that? Consultation with general public to know what is the best approach. And, or we implement, create a draft, give it to the system, the municipality or the government, or how do you start? Could you add a line or two on that? Yeah, your mic. Yeah, you take this mic.
Sir, I think the blueprint could be done very soon. We have enough knowledge, passion, and understanding of the subject. So I will obviously not take much time. I think there could be a collaborative approach by having some people who are engaged as a start measure, some basic fundamentals of design. And I think some sketches are very, very important. We forget to include sketches in our codes. So from the very beginning, if we start putting some sketches and some basic aspects of the requirements, I think, and educating the people about resilience of the building in itself, I think it is not a very difficult task. It can be taken up depending upon the occupancies which we have, residential, hotels, hospitals. It's a very good beginning. It can be done with a selective few people working together.
So I don't want to go to each and every one now. I would want to be a little more specific. Our process, because you're in the position and you can influence people to start writing a code. Or at least, it's very important for us to know that whenever you want to create something we try to get people from everywhere, but not us. That's a very sad part in most, in Nepal, there was an incident, everyone from everywhere, but they were not asking me a question. And there are people, our own people from other part of the world. Australia, people, if they work outside the country and they think that we're nuts, we don't know anything. We know so much. And we should be able to give you more than what they can give us. They'll come and stay for 5-10 minutes, 1 or 2 months, so time. And we always tend to be reactive, not proactive. Like he has already said, audit, compartmentalization, so many things. अब नवराजीलाई मेरो के भने नवराज सरलाई अब सरले चाहिँ एउटा यसो गरिदिनु पर्यो मनोज सर पनि हेर्नुहुन्छ and we have people Rukesh at APSA एउटा ड्राफ्ट चाहिँ बनाएर 3 पेजलाई चाहिँ 30 पेज चाहिँ बनाउने जुक्ति सरले चाहिँ ल 3 pages can be converted in 30 pages. How do we start on that? त्यो एउटा दिनु त सर.
थ्याङ्क यू देव सर. विशेष गरेर चाहिँ यो हाम्रो नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोड 1994मा सुरु भयो. त्यो बेला चाहिँ हामीले विशेष गरेर चाहिँ यो इन्डियाबाट जुन एक्सपर्टहरू आउनु भएको थियो र कुन देशको सहयोग थियो त्यसको युएनडिपीको सहयोगबाट हामीले त्यो नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोड 23 भोल्युमको तयार गऱ्यौँ. र त्यो हरेक नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोडमा के भनेर लेखिएको थियो भने केही कुरा त्यसमा हाइलाइट गरियो र अब अधिकांश कुरा चाहिँ इन्डियन स्ट्यान्डर्ड मतलब इन्डियन कोडमा हामी डिपेन्ड हुनेछौँ भनेर त्यहाँ उल्लेख भयो. पछि 2015मा जुन विनाशकारी भूकम्प गयो 2072 सालको, त्यसपछि एडिबीको सहयोगबाट हामीलाई त कुनै न कुनै राष्ट्रको कुनै डेभलपमेन्ट पार्टनर्स डोनर एजेन्सीहरूको सहयोग नभइकन हामी गर्न त्यति नसक्ने रहेछौँ, किनभने हामीसँग त्यो किसिमको क्यापेसिटी नहुने हो कि के हो त्यसरी. अनि हामीले चाहिँ यो नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोड 105लाई रिभिजन गऱ्यौँ. संयोगले त्यो बेला म यो चाहिँ CLPI सेन्ट्रल लेभल प्रोजेक्ट इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन युनिटको प्रोजेक्ट डाइरेक्टर पनि थिएँ र त्यो बेला हामीले कम्प्लिट गरेर क्याबिनेटबाट पास गरेर लिएर आयौँ. तर के रहेछ भने कोड रिभिजन भनेको कुरा त्यति सजिलो छैन सर. जति हामीले कुरा गर्छौँ त्यति सजिलो छैन, किनभने त्यसमा चाहिँ थुप्रै एक्सपर्टहरूको भ्यू चाहिन्छ, प्र्याक्टिसनरहरूलाई त्यहाँ इन्भल्भ गर्नु पऱ्यो. यथार्थमा भन्नुपर्दा थुप्रै स्टेक होल्डरहरूको चाहिँ म्यापिङ गर्नु पऱ्यो, आइडेन्टिफिकेसन गर्नु पऱ्यो, उहाँहरूको एनालिसिस गर्नु पऱ्यो र त्यसपछि एक किसिमको चाहिँ स्टेक होल्डरको कन्ट्रिब्युसन के हुनसक्छ भनेर पावर म्याट्रिक्स समेत बनाएर हामीले त्यसमा चाहिँ एड्रेस गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था रहेछ. सरले भन्नुभयो जस्तै वास्तवमा हामी हामीले जे गरिरहेछौँ अहिले केही सुधारोन्मुख छ पक्कै पनि, तर पनि हामीले कुनै पनि कोड बनाउँदाखेरि अथवा बायोलजहरू बनाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ यो रोस्टर राख्ने चलन चाहिँ एकदमै कम छ के। जस्तो एक्सपर्टहरूको रोस्टर लोकसेवा आयोगले अथवा विभिन्न चाहिँ निकायहरूले चाहिँ रोस्टर राखेर आफूलाई आवश्यक परेको बेला कस्तो किसिमको एक्सपर्ट बोलाउने भनेर उहाँहरूले बोलाउनुहुन्छ। तर हामी कहाँ चाहिँ त्यो किसिमको रोस्टर राखेर गर्ने चलन चाहिँ भर्खरै सुरु भएको छ। केही चाहिँ पहिलाको सो घोषित अथवा नाम चलेका व्यक्तिहरू चाहिँ जहिले पनि उहाँहरू नै रिपिट हुने, तर जसले पछि गएर चाहिँ विदेशमा गएर पढ्नु भएको छ, अनुभव गर्नुभएको छ अथवा स्वदेशमै पनि अनुभव गर्नुभएको छ, उहाँहरूको चाहिँ त्यो रोस्टरमा चढिसकेको अवस्था रहेनछ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ पछिल्लो समयमा मलाई लाग्छ सहरी विकास तथा भवन निर्माण विभाग, मिनिस्ट्री अफ अर्बन डेभलपमेन्टले यस्ता विज्ञहरूको रोस्टर चाहिँ सुरु गरेको छ। र सरले भन्नुभएको जस्तै 3 पेजलाई 30 पेज बनाउने कुरामा चाहिँ पेज सङ्ख्या बढाउने भन्दा पनि क्वालिटीको कुरा भन्नुभएको हो पक्कै पनि, अहिले क्वालिटेटिभ हिसाबले बढाउनुपर्छ। र त्यो फायर सेफ्टीको कुरामा चाहिँ विशेष गरेर अब हामीले चाहिँ जानुपर्छ, किनभने हामी कहाँ हाइराइज बिल्डिङको चलन भर्खरै मात्रै हाम्रो त्यो कल्चर सुरु भएको छ होइन। अर्को कुरा चाहिँ विगतमा हाम्रो के थियो भनेदेखि अब फायर हाइड्रेन्ट राख्दैन पानी, अनि फायर ब्रिगेड भनेको चाहिँ यो दमकलको व्यवस्था भयो भने आगो लागि भइसकेपछि गएपछि हामीले चाहिँ निभाउने त्यतातिर मात्रै अलिक बढी चाहिँ फोकस थियो भने अब अहिले चाहिँ प्रिभेन्टिभ मेजर्समा सकेसम्म आगो नै लाग्न नदिउँ। र अर्को कुरा चाहिँ बिल्डिङ सेफ्टीको मात्रै कुरा नगरौँ, अब त कम्युनिटी सेफ्टीको कुरा आवश्यक आइसक्यो। किनभने एउटा घरमा आगो लागि भयो भने त्यसले त सबै टोललाई सखाप बनाउन सक्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि आछ। अर्को कुरा अब यहाँहरू सबै हामीले अनुभव गरेकै कुराहरू चाहिँ सडकमा जुन चाहिँ विद्युतीय पोलहरू छ त्यसमा डिफ्रेन्ट यो सेवा प्रदायक लाइन जुन केबलहरू छ त्यो केबलहरूले गर्दा पनि धेरै ठाउँमा चाहिँ आगलागी भइरहेछ। अब घरको बाटोको छेउको घरलाई त एकदमै व्यत्यासै छ वास्तवमा त्यहाँ होइन, हरेकले चाहिँ त्यो फायर एक्सटिङ्ग्विसर किनेर घरमै राख्नुपर्ने अवस्था भइसकेको छ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ फायर सेफ्टीको कुरामा मलाई लाग्छ सहरी विकास तथा भवन निर्माण विभागले यो बिल्डिङ कोडको अपग्रेड गर्ने क्रममा त्यो कुरालाई अगाडि बढाउने छ। र त्यो गर्दै जाँदा चाहिँ स्थानीय तहसँग सहकार्य, अहिले त कस्तो छ भने अब सेन्ट्रल गभर्मेन्टले म आफै गर्छु भनेर सबै कुरा चाहन्छ भने त्यो सम्भव छैन, किनभने हामीले त स्थानीय तह अथवा हाम्रो स्थानीय सरकार मार्फत त्यो काम गराउनु पर्ने भएको हुनाले यहाँहरूले जुन कुरा भोगिरहनु भएको छ स्थानीय सरकार, नगरपालिका, महानगरपालिका, उपमहानगरपालिका, त्यहाँबाट पनि एक्सपर्ट भ्यूहरू आयो भने यसलाई पक्कै पनि हुनेछ। र देवेश सरले चिन्ता खासै नलिउँ, किनभनेदेखि यो एक्सपर्ट्सहरूलाई इन्भल्भमेन्ट गर्ने कुरामा चाहिँ पहिलाभन्दा धेरै व्यापक मात्रामा चाहिँ इन्भल्भमेन्ट भएर गएको छ सर। अहिले धेरै नै सिनारियो चेन्ज हुँदै गएको छ र पक्कै पनि हामीले चाहिँ सुरक्षित समाज बनाउने काममा contribute गर्न सक्छौँ।
That's very nice of you to say that. And I think this is a part of how we build the code, but then, you know, then there can be an incident, right? By the way, Kathmandu Nagarpalikaको उहाँहरूलाई one very important measures which you can take, and this can be a part of guidelines for Kathmandu Nagarpalika to manage the cluster of shops, you know. You know, if you have been to Bhikuti Mandap, in the periphery of Bhikuti Mandap, I've gone to each and every shop there. There are 1,400 shops in 1 kilometer area. That's the periphery of Bhikuti Mandap. One first guideline if you can put from this conference, take away. What did you do with this conference? Tapai Kathmandu Nagarpalika Mayor Balenलाई चाहिँ के भन्दैन भने भिकुटी मण्डपको छेउछाउमा भएको, forget about removing them from there, that's very difficult. But उनीहरूको फायर फाइटिङको जुन एस्पेक्टबाट how we can write guidelines and even test them. You can create big voting boards. त्यसको लागि काठमाडौँ नगरपालिकाले कुनै स्टेप लिन सक्छ?
स्पेशली काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिकाको यो फायर सेफ्टी सम्बन्धी अब सेफ्टी अडिट गरेर रिसर्चहरू गरेर त्यो अडिट गरेर कुन मेथड सुइटेबल हुन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ डिसिजन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। अब पहिलाको जस्तो ल्यान्ड युज सिफ्ट भइरहेछ काठमाडौँमा, जुन पहिला हामीले जुन चाहिँ रेसिडेन्सियल पर्पोजमा बिल्डिङहरू बन्थे, जुन एजुम्सन 2064 को मापदण्डमा गयो, अहिले चाहिँ त्यो रेसिडेन्सियलबाट हाम्रो ल्यान्ड युज सिफ्ट भइरहेछ कमर्सियल। सरले भने जस्तो हाइली कमर्सियल भएको छ, त्यो सिनारियोहरू चेन्ज भएको छ। त्यसलाई सम्बोधन गर्ने तरिकाले अब सेफ्टी स्थानीय लेभलको हाम्रो काठमाडौँ महानगर लेभलको सेफ्टी कोडहरू त्यसलाई चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउने हाम्रो चाहिँ हुँदैछ त्यो कार्यहरू। अब यसको लागि सबै संस्थाको कोअर्डिनेसन र उसबाट अहिले चाहिँ हामी त्यसरी गइरहेछौँ सर।
मनोज सरको केही भन्नु छ भने एकचोटि अब त्यस विषयमा केही भन्नु छ यता म्याडमको यस
Just some feedback. यहाँ मनोजीले पनि
सधैँ नजिक
वर्किङ
Yeah.
यो हाम्रो इम्प्याक्ट त्यो 3 पेजको भए पनि हाम्रो यो बिल्डिङ कोडमा एनबिसीको आर्किटेक्चर कोडमा धेरै कुरा त्यो एक्जिट ट्राभलिङ डिस्टेन्स फायर स्टेयरकेसहरूको धेरै कुराहरू छ अघि नारायणजीले भने जस्तै यसलाई होलिस्टिकली हामीले अप्रोच गऱ्यो भने चाहिँ फ्रम डिटेक्सन फायर स्मोक डिटेक्सन अनि यो एन्ट्री एक्जिट त्यसपछि इभ्याकुएसन स्प्रिङ्कलर सिस्टमहरू यो सबै यो सिस्टमहरू हामीले इन्टिग्रेट गर्न सक्यो भने झन् सेफर होला किनभने मोर एन्ड मोर अब अहिलेको हाम्रो जुन हाम्रो फार हामीले जति कुनै पनि प्लटमा जति बिल्ड गर्न पाउँछौँ त्यो सबै फार युटिलाइज गर्ने हो भने हाम्रो 80% बिल्डिङ 6 तल्लाभन्दा माथि हुन्छ सबैको बेसमेन्ट हुन्छ सो वी हेभ टु हेभ दिस सिस्टम इन प्लेस अनि अर्को चाहिँ तपाईँहरूको यो बिल्डिङ क्याटेगोरीमा पनि अब धेरै स्पेसलाइज बिल्डिङहरू आउनु थाल्यो अब तपाईँले होटेल रेजिडेन्सियललाई एउटै क्याटेगोरीमा राख्नु भएको छ त्यो अनि इभन रेजिडेन्सियलमा सिङ्गल होम अपार्टमेन्ट कम्प्लेक्स सो यो अनि देन वी हेभ दिस हाई अकुपेन्सी पब्लिक बिल्डिङ्सहरू जस्तो थिएटर सिनेमा नाइट क्लब्सहरू अहिले थुप्रो देखिन्छ सो यो सबैमा पनि हाम्रो सिस्टम्सहरू इफ यु क्यान इन्टिग्रेट द्याट द्याट बी भेरी गुड
यसमा केही थपौँ है जस्तै अहिले कस्तो फिल भइरहेको होला सबैलाई भने कोड चाहिँ हामी अपडेट एकदम ढिला गर्छौँ र बनेको कोड एकदम प्रिमिटिभ छ अनि हाम्रो डिमान्ड भइसक्यो बढी एड्रेस गर्न सकेका छैनौँ भन्ने विषयमा चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ अब यो सरले भन्नुभयो जस्तै तुरुन्त बन्न सक्ने अवस्था होइन तर यसको लागि अध्ययन चाहिँ भएको छ सरले भन्नुभयो जस्तै अहिलेको कोडमा चाहिँ हाम्रो यो फायर प्रिभेन्सनका कुराहरू सर्टेन रिफरेन्स छ त्यसपछि त्यही कोडमा नभए अर्को कन्जिक्युटिभ कोडमा छ फायर प्रिभेन्सनको पार्टहरू हामी एड्रेस गर्छौँ यसको डाइमेन्सन मात्रै भने यसमा अर्को भनेको चाहिँ फायर डिटेक्सन सिस्टमहरू के छन् इमिडिएटली चाहिँ एड्रेस गर्न सकिने एउटा पार्ट सेक्टर थियो भयो अर्को भनेको चाहिँ यो फायर फाइटिङ यसलाई कम्पार्टमेन्टलाइज बनाउने फायर रेटिङका कुराहरू यी कुराहरू सबै त्यो पार्ट सेक्टरमा होला अर्को भनेको चाहिँ फायर लागिसकेपछि चाहिँ अब इमर्जेन्सी रेस्पोन्सको लागि के इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्टरनल एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रक्चरल नन स्ट्रक्चरल यी पार्टहरूमा चाहिँ हामीले गृह कार्य गरिरहेका छौँ तर यो नभएको होइन यसलाई चाहिँ अब हाम्रो कस्तो छ भने एकदम कोड त बनाउने धेरै राम्रो बनाउने तर इम्प्लिमेन्टै हुन सकेन भने त्यो चाहिँ काम भएन हाम्रो फोकस चाहिँ हामीसँग इन्फर्मेसन र यसलाई चाहिने चिजहरू सबै छ तर कुन लेभलमा चाहिँ जम्प गर्ने खुड्किलो चढ्नु त पऱ्यो खुड्किला त चढ्नु पऱ्यो एकैचोटि चढ्न सकिँदैन त्यो फर्स्ट स्टेप चाहिँ कति साइजको हुन्छ कति त्यो जम्प लिनलाई सकिँदैन नि हामीले त्यो पार्ट भएकोले कन्सिक्युटिभली अहिलेको लागि हामीले यो फेजको लागि के क्लजहरू चाहिँ स्पेसिफिक गर्न सकिन्छ पेजसँग मतलब भएन हामीलाई चाहिँ त्यो क्वालिटी कति चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ इम्प्लिमेन्ट गरेर सिक्वेन्सियली फेज वाइज बढाउँदै जान सक्छौँ त्यो पार्टमा हामी काम गरिरहेका छौँ र यसमा चाहिँ अब हामी मात्रै होइन विज्ञ सरहरू को छन् होइन हामीले सबै ऐसाले भन्नुभयो जस्तै अलिक सिस्टमेटिकली विज्ञहरूबाट इनपुट लिँदै र डिमान्ड के छ रिक्वायरमेन्ट के छ त हाम्रो भन्ने हिसाबले अलिकति अगाडि काम भइरहेको अवस्था छ यसमा अध्ययन भइरहेको छ मैले अघि भने नि 4-5 सेक्टरमा चाहिँ हामीले काम गरिरहेको अवस्था छ त्यो सम्बोधन हुन्छ हजुर हस्
ओके Now is the time for audience to put you don't need to give any the background then damn question is what no case everyone is doing so well here question so then takka question ke chai sodhnu पर्ने ल
We don't have fire act or fire code. Rules. How we make our rules about fire safety, fire prevention, fire protection. This is our problem.
Okay. So, question. There is one other gentleman who wanted to ask a question. I mean, तीनटा question inside by there. This was the second one. Maybe you can take 2 more. Okay, 4 now. But your question has to be very short. No background. Ask the question only.
Thank you, Dipesh sir. My questions to the authorities who are making NBC in Nepal, there are 2-3 things we feel there is a problem. Problem number 1, the codes are not very sufficient or not updated. It's updated after a very long time, where the technology and the preventions are changing very fast. Second, the rules are applicable for all majority of things at once. Because in normally cases, if we use NFPA, in few cases we may need ULFM type of things for sensitive applications. So these things to be defined, because right now presently we feel that our code even not specified to use NFPA also. So it should be a minimum criteria, because if code you specify that these things will be done, then who is there? It's very difficult to authority to check one-to-one houses. So they should be also mentioned the quality of the product like NFPA or whatever the guideline they follow. Otherwise, just mentioning that you need these particular items and there is no quality, then it will be very difficult, and at the time of disaster it can be used.
Go to the second question. Third question, कसले भन्नला?
म चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट क्वेसनमै जानु खोजेँ। अब म चाहिँ इलेक्ट्रिकलको डिजाइन फिल्डमा चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिस गरिरहेको छु। यसमा चाहिँ मेरो आर्किटेक्चर सिनियर आर्किटेक्चर सरहरूसँग चाहिँ एउटा कम्प्लेन टाइपको, अब जस्तै अब डिजाइन गर्दाखेरिमा चाहिँ जुन कम्पार्टमेन्टलाइजेसनको कुरा भइरहेछ नि, यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो इलेक्ट्रिकल फेसिलिटीको लागि इलेक्ट्रिकल रुमहरूको कुरामा चाहिँ एकदमै नेग्लेक्ट गरिएको देखिन्छ हैन। यसमा चाहिँ इलेक्ट्रिकल रुमहरू हरेक फ्लोरमा चाहिँ अब रुमहरू नदिने हैन। यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ हाम्रो जस्तै अब इलेक्ट्रिकल सिस्टमबाट चाहिँ फायर हुने चान्स बढी हुने भएको भएर त्यसलाई चाहिँ ध्यान पुर्याउन सकियो भने चाहिँ अलिक राम्रो हुन्थ्यो कि। अनि अर्को क्वेसन चाहिँ हाम्रो श्रुति म्याडमलाई
इंग्लिश
I would like to ask Shruti madam regarding the EV fire related question. Regarding the EV fire, the current situation of the EV parking system and charging system in Kathmandu, like congested area. So how can we manage the EV fire in this type of congested area?
Okay. So I think we have enough round of questions. Who is going to, Sanjay, you'll have to answer this electrical engineer question on a certain issue. See, you're speaking in Nepali, so maybe you understand.
I think to answer to your question, it's a design problem. Maybe it's, the architect and the MEP consultant, they have not sat together and worked out the detail for the electrical or the utility room.
Madam, please answer that EB one.
So I didn't understand the question since it was in Nepali, but I heard two words, which was compartmentation and electrical room. So if you're feeding from an electrical room to jumping compartments, then you can use some cables which can take care of which can operate even during fire, which is called fire survival cable. It's internationally available and you can design according to that. So it has to be very design specific, building specific design.
Sir, Navraj सरले ULF त्यो उसको र NFPA को चाहिँ सरले अलिकति बताइदिनुहुन्छ कि?
So my question was regarding the EV fire to Shruti madam.
So
how can we manage the EV fire in congested area like Kathmandu, such as EV parking is in the basement and its charging station is right there. So when fire occurs, then how can we manage that?
Actually, this problem is not only in Kathmandu, but it is there in the entire world. And there are a lot of authorities and research companies which are trying to find a solution to it. Right now, what we are planning to do in our National Building Code of India is to provide all the EV chargers in a compartment so that we can restrict the fire again. We have to restrict the fire in a compartment so that it does not let the fire jump from one compartment to another. That's what we are planning to do.
Okay, thank you.
विशेष गरेर चाहिँ यो फायर एक्टको बारेमा यहाँ क्वेसन उठेको थियो। अब यो एक्ट भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ धेरै एक्ट चाहिँ आवश्यक छैन, किन भनेदेखि हाम्रो चाहिँ भवन ऐन नै काफी छ के। भवन ऐनकै मुख्य त्यसको प्रिएम्बलमा हेर्ने हो भने फायर सेफ्टी अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेन्स बिल्डिङहरू बनाउने र घरलाई अथवा भवनलाई सुरक्षित बनाउने उद्देश्यले नै भवन ऐनको चाहिँ अवधारणा आयो 2055 सालमा। अहिले त्यसको चाहिँ अपडेट भइरहेको छ होइन र नियमावली पनि पहिला विगतमा केही बनेको थियो त्यसलाई चाहिँ मुख्य गरी चाहिँ यो नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोडहरू जुन 23 भागमा छ त्यो 23 भागमा भएको नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोड मध्येको 107मा जुन फायर सेफ्टी अथवा फायर कोड छ त्यसलाई पनि कार्यान्वयन गर्ने ऐन भनेको भवन ऐन नै हो। हामीले के सोच्यौँ भने आगो भने चाहिँ घरमै नै लाग्छ, बस्तीमा लाग्छ, त्यस कारणले भवन ऐन भयो भने पुग्छ भन्ने हिसाबले गरियो। तर अहिले कम्युनिटीमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कहीँ कहीँ अब यो फरेस्टमा पनि धेरै व्यापक रूपमा चाहिँ डढेलो लागिरहेछ। त्यसलाई चाहिँ कुन एक्टले छुने होला, हेर्ने होला भन्ने कुरा अलिकति केही इस्युहरू आउन सक्छ। फायर एक्टको बारेमा अब त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो पार्लियामेन्ट्री मतलब हाम्रो सांसदहरूले चाहिँ विचार गर्ने कुरा हो। तर एक्ट नै त्यति नै एकदमै जरुरी भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई लाग्दैन। विशेष गरेर चाहिँ फायर कोडको चाहिँ अलिकति अपग्रेड गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था छ र विशेष गरेर चाहिँ यो गाइडलाइन्सहरू म्यानुअलहरू चाहिँ बनाउनुपर्छ कि अब जस्तो एपार्टमेन्ट बिल्डिङहरू बनाउँदाखेरि कस्तो किसिमको फायर सिस्टम राख्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ क्लाइन्टले अथवा त्यहाँको डेभलपरले राम्रोसित त्यसको कन्सेप्ट बुझ्नु भएन भने उहाँले इच्छा गरेर पनि राख्न सक्नुहुन्न। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ त्यसलाई गाइडलाइन्सले सपोर्ट गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ। अर्को कुरा चाहिँ हामी कहाँ के छ भनेदेखि प्रायः चाहिँ यो डिजास्टर चाहिँ एकदम मल्टिप्लायर इफेक्टमा आएको छ कि जब भुइँचालो जान्छ अनि आगो लाग्ने सम्भावना पनि हुन्छ। जहाँ आगो लाग्छ त्यहाँ बाल्टिन लिएर मान्छे पानी मात्रै निभाउनु आउँदैन, त्यहाँ चाहिँ अरू सुरक्षाका थ्रेडहरू पनि हुन्छ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ हाम्रो जुन सुरक्षा निकायका सरहरू आउनु भएको छ मैले व्यापक रूपमा देखेँ, उहाँहरूको ड्युटी पनि एकदमै संवेदनशील छ कि किनभनेदेखि पानी निभाउन मात्रै सबै मान्छे आउँछन् भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई लाग्दैन। त्यहाँ चाहिँ अब कति ठाउँमा लुटपाट मचिएको छ, अस्तिको आन्दोलनमा नि हामीले हेऱ्यौँ थुप्रै केसहरू होइन। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ यो त्यस्तो मान्छेको मुभ हुँदाखेरि अथवा डिजास्टरको टाइममा धेरै इभिडेन्सहरू हुने रहेछ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ सकेसम्म हामीले कोडहरूको प्र्याक्टिस गर्दा चाहिँ नेसनल बिल्डिङ कोडको चाहिँ विशेष गरेर जस्तो यो अर्थक्वेक सेफ्टीको हिसाबमा चाहिँ अलिक बढी हामीले चाहिँ फोकस गर्नु पर्यो। र अर्को चाहिँ फायर रिलेटेड मेटेरियलहरू जुन चाहिँ एकदम प्रज्वलनशील मेटेरियलहरूको प्रयोग चाहिँ सकेसम्म हामीले चाहिँ कम गर्नु हो कि अथवा हामीले कतिपय चाहिँ जस्तो काठहरूको प्रयोग गर्दा बाँसहरूको प्रयोग गर्दाखेरि पनि त्यसलाई फायर रेजिस्टेन्स पनि बनाउन सकिने रहेछ। विभिन्न किसिमको ट्रिटमेन्टहरू दिएर केही मात्रामा तत्कालै आगो लाग्नबाट जोगाउन सक्ने हिसाबले पनि जान सकिने रहेछ। त्यस कारणले केही ट्रिटमेन्टका कुराहरू पनि गर्न सक्ने अवस्था छ। त्यही भएर अहिले नेपाल सरकारले भवन प्रविधता अनुसन्धान तालिम केन्द्र भनेर स्थापना पनि गरेको छ। हाल त्यो भर्खरै सुरु भएको छ होइन। हुन त यो भवन विभागको स्थापना त धेरै पुरानो, यो बनाउने अड्डाबाट सुरु भएको 1997 तिरबाट 2000 को करिब सुरु भयो भनेपछि यो 8 दशक पार लगाइसक्यो। तर फर्मल रूपमा चाहिँ 2017 सालपछि आयो र सुरुमा चाहिँ भवन ऐन चाहिँ भवन विभाग चाहिँ सानी शाखा सार्वजनिक निर्माण शाखा भनेर चाहिँ सुरु भयो। पछि भवन चाहिँ के भयो भने छायामा पर्यो। अब किन छायामा पर्यो त्यो चाहिँ इतिहासमा रहेका व्यक्तिहरूले आन्सर दिनु होला। यो चाहिँ शहरी विकाससँग गाभियो र भवनमा चाहिँ के भयो भने प्राइभेट सेक्टर निकै अगाडि गयो। थुप्रै किसिमको चाहिँ आधुनिक सामग्रीहरू चाहिँ आयातित भए, थुप्रै किसिमको कन्स्ट्रक्सन मेटेरियलहरू बजारमा आयो। त्यो अनुसारको चाहिँ कोडको निर्माण नर्म्सहरूको निर्माण गर्न चाहिँ नेपाल सरकार पछाडि परेको हो कि भन्ने चाहिँ भानुभयो। तर अहिले पछिल्लो समयमा चाहिँ के भयो भने यो प्रविधि अनुसन्धान तालिम केन्द्र पनि स्थापना गरेको छ। त्यसै गरी रिसर्च पनि गराइरहेको छ र विभिन्न किसिमको मेटेरियलहरू चाहिँ हामीले त्यसलाई चाहिँ अब कसरी हुन्छ हाम्रो यो सिस्टममा ल्याउने नर्म्सभित्र ल्याउने प्रक्रियामा नर्म्स अपडेट पनि गरिरहेका छौँ, कोड अपडेट पनि गरिरहेका छौँ। र जहिले पनि के हुँदो रहेछ भने प्राइभेट सेक्टर चाहिँ इनोभेटिभ हुन्छ क्या र गभर्मेन्ट सेक्टर भनेको चाहिँ अलिकति ब्युरोक्रेटिक। हाम्रो चाहिँ एउटा चिज पास गर्नु पऱ्यो भने 10 चोटि त्यो फाइल घुमाउँदा त्यो क्याबिनेट पुग्दाखेरि त महिनौँ लाग्छ। तर प्राइभेट सेक्टरले चाहिँ इनोभेटिभ छिटो गर्न सक्छ। त्यस कारणले मैले यहाँ कुनै प्राइभेट सेक्टरबाट इन्भल्भ हुनुभएका सरहरूलाई म्याडमहरूलाई के अनुरोध गर्छु भने त्यस्तो किसिमको प्रोएक्टिभ कुनै तपाईँहरूसँग चाहिँ इभिडेन्सहरू छ, कुनै किसिमको फायर रेजिस्टेन्स मेटेरियलहरूको प्रयोग गर्नुपर्ने छ भने तपाईँहरूले सिधै हाम्रो शहरी विकास विभाग भित्र रहेको चाहिँ यो भवन प्रविधि तथा तालिम अनुसन्धान केन्द्रमा यहाँहरूले सम्पर्क गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। हामीले त्यसलाई पक्कै पनि प्रमोट गर्नेछौँ। र अर्को कुरा एउटा विडम्बना छ हेर्नु सर, यो मैले यो फ्लोरमा भन्नै पर्छ, मैले धेरै ठाउँमा भनेको छु। तपाईँको जुम्लामा अथवा तपाईँको उता के अरे हिमाली बेल्टमा चाहिँ हामी एल्युमिनियम लगाएर घर बनाइरहेका छौँ कि यस्तो विडम्बना हेर्नुहोस्। त्यहाँ चाहिँ काठहरू लडेर कुहिएर गएको छ, त्यो काठ चाहिँ काट्न पाइँदैन। त्यो काठ त्यहाँको चाहिँ के अरे लोकल टिम्बरलाई हामीले प्रयोग गर्न नपाइने अनि आयातित जुन इम्बोइडेड मेटेरियल भन्छ जसमा इनर्जी खपत गरेर चाहिँ मेटेरियल बन्छ जसले चाहिँ यो कार्बन उत्सर्जन इमिसनमा सपोर्ट पनि गरिरहेको छ, त्यस्तो मेटेरियलहरूलाई हामीले हेलिकप्टर चढाएर लगेर चाहिँ कन्स्ट्रक्सन गरिरहेछौँ। भनेपछि हामीले दिगो कन्स्ट्रक्सनमा गएको छैनौँ कि भन्ने पनि एउटा केही कुरा चाहिँ इस्यु मैले यो फोरम पाएर उपयुक्त फोरममा राख्न चाहेको मात्रै हो। तर के छ भनेदेखि अहिले एकदम प्रोएक्टिभली नेपाल गभर्मेन्ट अगाडि बढेको छ यो काममा। यहाँहरूको साथ सहयोग चाहिन्छ र त्यसमा विशेष गरेर सुरक्षा निकायको चाहिँ एकदमै ठुलो सपोर्ट चाहिन्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि म राख्छु र स्थानीय तहको पनि। थ्याङ्क यू।
I think I should wrap it up. अनि मैले यहाँ I see so many people in uniform. तपाईँहरूले केही क्वेसन नै सोध्नु भएन because a big part of how we beating at the fire in the country. तर maybe you would all be a part of this story to create a big story of more pages of firefighting code. होइन अब I think I should take everyone by their name. Sandeep ji, Sanjay, Shruti, Manoj ji, Nabraj, Jeevan ji, Tripti, Sangeeta ji, and I think Swan. Maestro Swan, we are all thankful to you. It was a good insight, and I think मैले त कति जानिन थाहा छैन, तर I've tried to add value. हामी कसरी अगाडि बढ्ने, सधैँ नेपालीहरू रोइरहने अनि गाली गर्ने, काम गर्ने बाटो कसरी खोज्ने भने यस्तै कन्फरेन्स गर्नुपर्छ. I should be thankful to Sunil. He's a big part of EPSA. And we need more people like him in the country who is taking so much pain to organize. I think this is most probably the first ever event where we are talking about firefighting safety. तर एउटा कुरा म गरिहाल्छु फेरि. What we take away from here, if we ever have this kind of event, next EPSA event, we should be able to say to Sandeep and Shruti, madam, that we have a code, and it all happened because you were there, and we were there. Thank you.